Hello students, welcome to the online classes of geography for chapter 2 land and soil resources, and today is the note 2 of that chapter, and the topic that I am going to discuss today is related to soil resources. Under this category I am going to discuss about the definition of the soil, how the soil is formed, and about the layers of the soil termed as soil profile. Now, what is soil? Normally, when we see the outer covering of the crust, we see a loose matter of sand and silt and clay that is present on the earth's surface. Now, this loose matter of the sand, silt and clay, obviously it has been combined with various substances which can be inorganic, which can be organic. So, this loose matter with a combination of organic and inorganic substances present over the top layer of the earth's surface is termed as soil. Now next what we can see is it is basically what is the base for the formation of the soil? It is the rocks. Now rocks are broken into many small particles by various reasons, by various methods. So when these small particles get mixed up with the dead remains of plants and animals, we term it as a humus. So this fine powdery rocky surface or a powdered rocky surface mixed up with humus can be defined as a soil. Now the next is soil formation. Now the soil formation is not a very easy and a fast process. It is very slow and a too tough or a complex process. Why it is so? First, a piece of rock is there. It has been broken by different agents of weather. We term it as a weathering. Gradually it has been broken up from a big boulder to a small boulder, then comes to a small particles, then a fine particles, and by the various agents of erosion it is being carried from one place to another and it's being settled down. In this order the soil is formed. It is not a work of a day or of a year or of a 2 years. It takes nearly hundreds of years to just form a very thin layers of soil. So it is not a fast process, neither it is a easy process. It is very slow and complex process. Now what are the factors that influences the soil formation? If we keep one word in our mind, clort, C-L-O-R-P-T, clort. Now what if we break up this word? Cl will indicate climate, O will indicate organism, means that organic matter. R indicates relief feature, relief features means topography, the slope. P indicates parent bedrock and T indicates time. Now the climate, suppose the climatic condition is extremely dry. What will be the resultant? During the daytime the rocks will expand, during the night time the rocks will contract. So due to this expansion and contraction, the particles within the rocks will get shattered up. We will get a piece of small particles. In the wetty regions, in the heavy rainfall region, due to excessive rainfall, what will be the resultant? The cracks will develop and gradually the cracks will widen up and it will get dislocated, particles will form, the resultant will be soil formation. In the areas of snow-capped mountains, what will be the resultant? During the daytime, if the gaps are there where the water is being filled up and it gets frozen out during the night time, during the daytime the water will melt out. That snow will melt out into water. And during the night time, what will be the resultant? Again it will freeze out. So continuous action of that is getting melted and freezing and melting, freezing and melting, what will be the resultant? It create a burden or a pressure on that piece of rock and again it will break up. So as a result, we will get a small particles of the rocks. So climate is one of the most important factor for the formation of the soil. Next, when these fine particles are settled down in an area, they are the vegetative covers, they are decaying parts, small microorganisms that survive in those areas, they are decaying parts. When it get mixed up with it, it adds up humus to that soil. And when it adds up humus to that soil, what is the resultant? It increases the fertility. So where there is decaying parts of vegetative cover or the presence of microorganism, the soil is fertile. And if it is not, then soil is less fertile or a sterile type of soil. Next is relief features. Now relief features normally indicates the slope. What is the resultant? In this higher area, the rolling of the particles will be more. Why? Due to the force of gravity and due to the slope. So what is this? The thickness of the soil over here will be less. So it is not a very good one for the vegetative cover. But gradually at the foothills of that slope area, the deposition will be more. And there the thickness of the soil will be more. So as a result, if any areas are having more slope, the soil is not a best one for the cultivation purpose. And where the slope is gentle or low level land, the thickness will be more, and that will indicate the better part for the cultivation purpose. Now next it is P, parent rock. In the previous class we have already studied there are three kinds of rocks: igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rocks. Now metamorphic is not a basic rock. Why? Because it comes from either igneous or from sedimentary. Now if a parent rock is igneous in nature, that means the rock is very hard. So the soil, if it is formed from that, the fine particles will be there and the soil will have very less gap in between the particles. So that is clay type of soil. And if the soil is having a base of sedimentary rock, we know the sediments are porous in nature. The gap between the grains of the soil will be more. So the soil will be comparatively very loose. It will not be a sticky one, it will not be considered as a clay soil, rather it is termed as a loamy soil. So in this way we get the soil type based upon the parent bedrocks. And lastly, the last factor, that is T, which indicates time. The more the time that is taken for your growth, you becomes much more developed, you becomes much more matured, and if you are young in age, your maturity lacks. In the similar condition, if the soil is getting more time for its settling, for its development, that means the soil is more fertile. And if it is less time to be taken to develop, then that means the soil is immature. It is not best suited for the cultivation purpose. So these are some of the factors that influences the soil. Now next comes soil profile. Normally in our mind that soil develops from the top. It is totally a wrong concept. The soil comes from the base of the crustal part. That means first the bedrock is there. Bedrock get influenced by various agents of weathering. Then we get a small particles of the rocks, and gradually at the top we get mixed up with the vegetative cover. We get the most fertile part of the soil. So this entire section of the soil is termed as soil profile or soil horizons. So we are having 4 soil horizons. I am focusing it with a figure that is given in this book. You can see the soil horizons or the soil profile. The first one is the top layer. Now the top layer or the first profile or the first soil where the composition is of sand, silt and clay. It is very much loose and it contains humus. It is the best part for supporting vegetative cover and other organisms because it possesses all the most important nutrients. Just below that, we are having subsoil. Now the subsoil, this is the subsoil region. Here, what is it? The roots can penetrate up till this part only. Why? Because the rainwater gets accumulated in this layer. So, roots can gather the moisture from this layer, and it also possesses some minerals or nutrients. So, up till here, it's the most important part for the cultivation or for the vegetative cover. Below that, we are having the third layer. It is the substratum. This one. This is first layer, second layer. This is the substratum layer. The substratum layer means where the boulder-like structure, small boulder-like structure, rocks are present. That does not possess any sort of important nutrients. Neither it is having a huge quantum of the moisture that can support. So it is just giving a base for the formation of the top two layers of the soil. And the last one, which is the unweathered, the substratum is the weathered rock particles, and the unweathered rock layer is the bedrock, where the entire base for the formation of the soil is there. So these are the four layers of the soil profile. Topsoil, the most important part with the humus, then comes the subsoil, then comes the substratum, and gradually the last one is the bedrock. So these are the four layers of the soil horizon. So now I have already completed today's topic. I have given some question based upon it. Now, why soil is considered as a renewable resource? We have already studied about the term renewable resource. What is it? Soil is continuously formed in a cyclic order. It is continuously in a formation. If there is a destruction or if there is any sort of disturbance, it again come back, replenish out and form, but it is a slow process. So as it is continuously in a formation pattern in a cyclic order, that's why soil is considered as a renewable resource. Which part of the relief feature will have more thickness of soil and why? Now I'm just pointing it out in this order. This is a slopy region and this is a level land. So where do you think the particles will roll down and will settle? This is the place where the particles will roll down and settle. That means this is the plain area. So what is the resultant? Here the thickness of the soil will be more. Why? Because they are rolling it out due to the force of gravity from a slopy region. Now soil formation is a slow and complex process. Explain. Why? Because first the parent bedrock is being with its getting the base. It is not the basically weathered rock, but it gets the influence of the agents of weathering. So the unweathered rocks turns out into a weathered big particles. Then gradually it turns up into a subsoil, means the small particles, and the finest particles in the top form. So it takes nearly 100 of years to just form a 1 centimeter thickness of layers of the soil. Thus why soil formation is very slow and a complex process. Hopefully I am able to clarify all the answers. Just note it down in your copy and try to write the answer in this order. Thank you for following today's class.